Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. And whatever platform you're listening to this on, I want to say thank you so much. If you are already subscribed, I thank you for that as well. If you are not already subscribed, please do go ahead and subscribe. And while you're at it, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button while you're at it. It's just a thank you for being here, and you might as well just hit it and brighten up the place like hitting that light switch when you walk into the room. So let's get into this conversation. So the news has been out for a few days now that blogger, content creator, celebrity content creator, I would say, Tasha K, known as Tasha K of the Unwind with Tasha K YouTube channel and Tasha K Live, her own app, where she breaks stories, talks about trending celebrity stories and things like that. And she's good at what she does. Take it or leave it, love it or hate it. She has over 1.5 million subscribers to her YouTube channel, I believe, at this point. She continued to gain subscribers throughout this trial that Cardi B, when she filed a lawsuit against Tasha K for defamation of character and infliction of emotional distress and, a few other things, she continued to grow and she continued to do her thing. And when the verdict was rendered in Cardi B's favor, her response turned a lot of people off, so she lost some subscribers after that. But, she continued to forge ahead and continue to do what she was doing. She also created an app in the meantime where she would share exclusive content or share content first on there and then eventually sharing it on her YouTube channel and just changing things up a bit for her YouTube channel. And I actually started following her several years ago. I want to say I started following her on her YouTube channel probably around late 2017. And actually how I found out about Tasha K back then was I had a client / friend who told me about this blogger, and it was kind of funny the way she described it, because she was telling me about a story that she was talking about. I can't remember because the things that some of my clients and we discuss, sometimes they are celebrity news related or just things that are trending stories at the time. So it was something that was trending at the time. I can't remember exactly who it was about, but she said, you need to check out this blogger, Tasha K. She's got a YouTube channel, and she was talking about it. And I'm laughing right now because the way my client described her, she was like, yeah, she's a little bit obnoxious because of how loud she is, but check out the story. I went to her channel. I checked out the story that she was talking about at the time. And to me, it was entertaining. And I subscribed to the channel ever since. And then after the fact, she started talking a lot about stories regarding the famous singer, the I Believe I Can Fly singer, who is now incarcerated, has been found guilty, and may never see the light of day outside of bars ever again because of things that he chose to do. Whether people agree with that decision or not, it is what it is. But I followed a lot of those stories, and she seemed to really have a lot of knowledge and information, inside information about all of that, where that was concerned, and she was definitely credible when it comes to that. So that's why I wanted to even bring that part up, because with this Cardi B defamation lawsuit that she did file an appeal for after the verdict, but recently, unfortunately in her circumstance, she was found to have to pay that money eventually, and they upheld the verdict from the previous trial, so they did not win the appeal. And I am not here to revel in anyone's misery, in anyone's circumstances or situations, even if what someone did was caused by their own actions. Because let me tell you guys something. I do believe that you reap what you sow, and I also do believe that there is a reaping that can happen when you are sowing what's the word I want to use? You are sowing gratitude or glee or joy or happiness and excitement in someone else's downfall, even if you believe they deserve it, or even if you believe that the actions that they took caused them to be in the position that they're in. Because I can tell you, I've been in a number of situations as a business owner myself where I have had people that have betrayed me and turned against me because they wanted to come up quicker or they wanted to try to compete with me in some way, and then they would do deceitful things. Eventually, I know that they're going to reap what they've sown because of the things that they have done to me, and it definitely wasn't deserved. But even if I ever find out what they reap finally after what they have, put out there, I would never celebrate in them going through hard times or struggles or health battles or losing money, losing family, losing their own lives possibly. I don't know. I'm just saying I would never celebrate in that, because you still have to be careful about how you treat people, even if you believe that what they did caused them to be in the position that they're in. I'm just saying, you can talk about it, you can acknowledge it, but celebrating it is a different story. And there are so many people who celebrate that this has happened to her, but they utilize she caused it. She should have just kept her mouth shut. If she didn't do this and she didn't do that, this never would have happened. Look, I'm not here to talk about that, but what I am saying is it okay for people to celebrate and really want her to ultimately be destroyed? Because when I've seen some people's comments, or even some people's commentary that have created content about her and about the situation, to me, in my opinion, just being beautifully honest, I feel that they really wanted to see her wiped off of the face of the planet, wiped off of YouTube. Because when this initially happened and the verdict came out, I saw comments. I've seen some people who created content about this topic, and I've heard some people call into different platforms when they were discussing it, and some of the things that people would say would just honestly be really ridiculous. Because look, this is a civil judgment. Even though some people see this as a crime, it's a civil judgment. So they're not going to lock Tasha up. But I've seen some people say comments like that, or I've even read comments, seen them, and I've heard people say things like, well, if she doesn't pay that money, then they can put her in prison. They're not going to do that. Do you know how many people would be in prison right now if they didn't pay civil judgments that they had on their credit reports? Trust and believe there would be a whole lot more people behind bars if that was the case. It simply does not happen. Now, there are some places that have the antiquated debtors prisons where they will lock people up for petty things like writing a bad check, or some company that is ruthless, and because they have these laws still on the books in an antiquated system where they could lock someone up for an unpaid debt to force the person's hand to pay the debt. But that really doesn't happen anymore. So Tasha's not going to jail over this, although there are some people that would love to see her behind bars because they can't stand her. And I don't know why it goes that deep to the fact that they can't stand her because she said some things about Cardi B. Does Cardi B love these people that much where they have such disdain for Tasha because of the things that she said about Cardi B? Because that to me is questionable as well. Cardi B has the upper hand from the giddy up, from the beginning, because when it comes to the justice system, especially in situations like that, those who have the money usually get the upper hand. And even though defamation cases are such in terms of they are harder to win, and maybe Tasha K may have given her that ammunition and that fuel to that fire for her to have this boom, winning moment, it's possible. But even with all of that being said, she had the upper hand in the situation. I'm not here to say that Cardi B should have just let it go. And it is alleged, and I believe Tasha K may have even said it, that she had reached out to her, on some occasions to say, let's just squash this, let's just move on, just take the videos down or whatever. I don't know, but even with all of those things being said and known allegedly, I would never sit and celebrate that this has happened and want her to be destroyed. And in the days and times that we're living in, we live in this society of cancel culture. We live in a society where people revel in people's downfalls. I just don't do that. And I know not everyone is the same, but I'm just saying I would never feel comfortable doing that, even if I hated Tasha K. Some people may feel like I'm biased because I'm subscribed to her channel and I like her content. I don't have a dog in the fight. It's not personal to me. I don't know Tasha K. She and I have never met, or, she's not my family member. And I would never want more so a woman and a mother, and she's also a wife, and she's an African American woman. Let's just be honest. There are already a lot of things that we have to be better at. We have to be more careful about as far as, things in society are concerned because of who we are and what we look like. Her being a darker skinned woman as well. Also dealing with things like colorism issues and all of that good stuff. But I wanted to talk about this because, I've seen some people that are really just like, we are supporting you. We're still here. We're winos, whatever. And she made this post on her Instagram, which I had to laugh at. You really have to have like zero sense of humor to not laugh at it. Because it was funny. Because after the appeal was struck down, she made a post on her Instagram where she has a McDonald's uniform transposed over a picture of herself. So she's got on the McDonald's ball cap, and the McDonald's uniform top, button all the way up to the neck, might I add. and she writes the post and it says hashtag Tasha K gets a job. Crying emoji, running man emoji. And then she says, I will let y'all know what part-time gig I get so I can pay off this damn debt. Hashtag I ain't got it, but I'm going to get it. Running man emoji. At McDonald's, at Wendy's, she actually added them, at Burger King. Any positions available? Crying emoji. I will do anything. 5 exclamation marks. It's funny. And the reason why I respect her work ethic, listen, you can say what you want to say about this woman. I respect her work ethic because let me tell you, there are a lot of people that if they were in that same situation, and granted, some people say, well, I would never be in that situation because I was just never do anything like that. Okay, fine. But what I am saying is there are a lot of people who are in positions that are far less than the amount of money that they have the responsibility for to take care of and handle, and they would have taken themselves out. They wouldn't wait for somebody else to do it. They would have taken themselves out. I am quite sure she's had her low moments. I'm quite sure she's had her moments of shedding tears. I would believe anyone would understand that. Of course, I'm sure she had her moments of being depressed. Hell, she might be going through it right now, but just going through it. Going through the depression while she continues to work because, like she said, she has employees, she has a team, she's got children, she's got a husband. And yeah, some people would say, well, if she had all that, then she should have thought about that before she did what she did. Okay, fine. But what's done is done. The verdict stands. The appeal was struck down. The judgment stands. Look, it's, to me, in my opinion, an uncollectible judgment. And it's probably going to be around for 7 to 10 years. I believe judgments can be renewed depending on the state that you live in. But they cannot take your, where you live and put you out on the street because she owes Cardi B this money that Cardi B really doesn't need. Let's just be clear with that. So with this Instagram post that she did, and this is what prompted me to even talk about this in terms of people really just being angry with this woman that they don't know. They don't have a dog in the fight. It has nothing to do with them. And they really want to see her suffer. So someone wrote this post, and I'm going to try to read it because I think a number of the words are misspelled. But anyway, this is one person's comment. And I'm not even going to say the person's name or their Instagram handle. They said, "You still take it as a joke when the time when you reap with you sow." Like I said, it's this person's typing because they didn't even type the words correctly. But anyway, what they're basically saying is, you still take it as a joke when you reap what you sow. When it says, "Lord Jesus Christ speaks, you will look around and you will see them no more." He also says that don't be no fool. You and Whitehead are two of a kind, but when it's time to pay, joke is on you. All of this when it happened, if you only would have been, and I think they meant to say, if you only wouldn't have been such a narcissist. And when you have properties and other things, people know just what you have. Internal revenue will be involved. You can't run. You can't hide. Brought it all on your own self. All that you build up gone with a stroke of a pen and a computer. If you only would have shut your ghetto mouth. They said the tongue is the deadliest weapon we have. Can you and Bishop Whitehead is the most, and I don't even know what this, they don't know what the word is that they wrote because it's not even a real word, but the most whatever people that I ever heard and seen. Unbelievable. I mean, it really sounds like that person is angry. Really angry. So, it's just funny to me how personal some people take this situation, as if she owes them something out of their own pocket. Like, that person would probably do really well working as a collection agent, because you know how some of those people who work at those collection agencies, they take it super serious and personal, as if the debtor or the person who owes a past due bill owes them money out of their own pocket. It's like, girl, boy, man, woman, whatever, you get paid your hourly rate. I'm sure you're not on a salary. You get paid your hourly rate to sit there and take and do these calls. Just make your money and calm down. But yeah, I just really find it really weird how some people take this so personally. And there's some bloggers that don't like Tasha K. There are some bloggers that may have had a personal connection to her at some point. I won't even say personal, but they had a connection with her at some point in terms of being a content creator, and they had a falling out and things like that. So a lot of those people in those positions are definitely saying, I knew it, I'm happy or whatever. And look, you have the right to feel how you feel, but you just have to really be careful with that, because even if you're not moving in the same way that Tasha K is moving, and you say, well, I would never have to deal with anything like that because I don't move the same way she moves and I don't do things the way that she does it. Even with that being said, you don't have to do those things. If you are celebrating what she's going through, you just really have to consider that and be careful, because you could do absolutely nothing like she does it, but the harvest of celebrating someone else's downfall, or, whatever you may call it, there's a real harvest for that. And it's just not something that I would even recommend doing. Talk about it, sure. Celebrate and revel in it, absolutely not. But everybody has a choice to do what they're going to do, and people are going to do what they want to do regardless. But I will say, when it comes to Tasha K and this situation, I admire the fact that she's still moving forward, and she's going to have to do what she has to do to either eventually pay the money. I'm not sure if she can file bankruptcy or not. But either way, I don't want this woman to be destroyed. And speaking myself as a woman in business, I know sometimes how it is when it comes to people that really just want to see you destroyed because they had either a negative experience in the past or an experience that was not what they desired. and having a business where people can leave reviews and things like that, if they didn't have I won't even say a good, because these days, and this is the point that I'm getting to, when it comes to online reviews by most people that leave what is called a negative review these days is nothing like they used to do back in the day when that became a thing where you could leave a negative review. A negative review used to be 3 stars. These days, people would leave a 1-star review and then they were right. If I could give this place 0 stars, or if I could give this place -10 stars, I would do it. Don't ever go to this place ever again. Like, they want pretty much you to go out of business because they either couldn't get their way or whatever the situation was that caused them to go and leave a review that is extremely inflammatory. They don't want to just share the experience that they had. They really want to see your business suffer and destroyed. And I'm using that as an example, even though it's not the same thing, but using that as an example of how a lot of people operate these days when it comes to the Tasha K situation. People have the right to feel however they want to feel and not agree with how she had handled the situation. Completely fine. Even if I don't agree with the way she handled the situation, that doesn't mean that I can't still watch her other content and I can't still be careful and cognizant of how I react to this situation. Because there are others, and a number of them, that really are celebrating that this has happened, and they want to see her destroyed. They don't want to see her on YouTube anymore. They want to see people unsubscribe from her app. They really want to see her pretty much destitute because she made some comments about Cardi B that the court ruled to be defamatory. Is that equal? I'm not sure if that really is. I mean, the judge ruled, the jury awarded, and it is what it is. But we know that sometimes, not even just sometimes, a lot of times in the justice system, a lot of things that are ruled are absolutely not fair. I have a family member that was diagnosed with PTSD, and he served this country, and they don't want to give him what he's rightly due. That's not justice. So I'm just here to say that just because this happened doesn't mean that it was just. And I would not celebrate in the fact that this is the final outcome. I really wish her the best. I hope she continues to forge ahead because honestly, especially women in business, we really do need to see people who, even if you're not doing the same thing that she's doing, we really do need to see people in business who have gone through struggles and trials to see someone like this in the spotlight and they're still moving forward and pursuing their ambitions and their goals and their dreams in spite of the blows that they have taken. That is major. I believe that it is major. And so I just wanted to talk from that standpoint. I'm not here to talk about what she said about Cardi B and was it right or do I agree or whatever. And I'm not even here to talk about Cardi B because that could, take this into another direction. I'm just here to say celebrating in this situation, in my opinion, is just really not a good thing to do, but people do whatever they want to do, and we live in a society of cancel culture now, and they don't really want to see people that have said or done things that may not be kind or whatever to even make money to pay their bills anymore. I know that there have been a number of Karens, they call them, and other people that have done some dumb, stupid things on camera, and then they got called out and they got fired from their jobs or, got terminated from the careers that they had. What they did may have been stupid and not right, but would I want this person to not be able to pay their bills? Probably not. I'm just saying, I just think a little bit differently when it comes to things like that. So I don't agree with cancel culture. I do believe that some people really do need to be held accountable for things that they have done. I absolutely do. But yeah, I just wouldn't celebrate in this situation. So those are just my thoughts on that. You can feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for subscribing to the platforms. And guys, this is Beth. I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.